The Saturn Slam review. Another double feature edition because we're really bad at doing these.
Consistency is key.
When we're consistent in that we do it two at a time. January is double feature month here on Saturn Slam reviews because we're going to be coming at you next week with double predictions video and the double review video because we have Takeover and Royal Rumble next weekend. 27th and the 28th, not the 20th and 21st.
Yeah, before we get into NXT, while we're still doing a review here, what's this mixed match thing?
Okay, so the mixed match challenge is this thing they're doing on Facebook Live because we have to get in touch with the youths, I guess. Or Facebook paid them a bunch of money. So it's one 20-minute match a week between a male and a female superstar from SmackDown or Raw paired randomly. So the teams I remember off the top of my head are we had Shinsuke Nakamura and Natalya, Braun Strowman and Alexa Bliss, Bobby Roode and Charlotte Flair, which is actually a great pairing because they both wear their entrance robes. Sami Zayn and Becky Lynch because they're both gingers, I guess. Bailey and Elias. It was supposed to be Bailey and Samoa Joe, but I guess Joe's hurt. Hopefully not too bad. Who the fuck else? I now have to look this up because it's going to bug me. Mixed match challenge. Alright, mixed match. Sasha Banks and Finn Balor. The Miz and Asuka. And Naomi and Jimmy Uso. Or whichever Uso she's married to. I think it's Jimmy. I think Goldust and Alicia Fox for reasons that have yet to adequately be explained to me. If I didn't say Finn Balor and Sasha Banks, Finn Balor and Sasha Banks. And Nia Jackson and Apollo Crews, I guess, because those are the only two people whose faces are on this graphic that I haven't paired yet.
Process of elimination. Yes, this screams just classic, 5-star matches, all of them.
Well, I didn't watch Tuesday because I have better things to do with my time. I didn't even watch SmackDown Tuesday. But from what I heard the following morning on Wrestling Observer Radio, the match was not bad. It wasn't great, but was not bad.
Okay.
So
well,
maybe they're okay. I mean, it's one match. They're mercifully cutting 30 minutes off of 205 Live. So they're going to have to go out there and die for 30 minutes, not an hour.
205 Live.
I was rewatching some of the Cruiserweight Classic matches, and I was just, it saddened me because I'm like, wow, they really could have had something here, but they just fucked it up. Also, while we're doing the overview, we mentioned Joe's injury, but the rumor going around right now is that Paige is done as a wrestler because of her most recent neck injury. So that's really sad. She's only 25. She had her whole career ahead of her, basically, and she had a really rough year last year. It was really nice to see her come back and seem to be over it, but poor girl snake bit. I'm sure she's good enough at enough things that I'm sure they'll find something for her to do. But it's really, really sad.
Well, I
also,
mean, she can't wrestle, but she could probably do a lot of things related to it if she just wanted to stay close.
yeah, I don't know how no it is. Like, I don't know if it's like an Edge situation where if she takes a bump, she can literally be paralyzed. Or whatnot. So, like, she could be a decent manager if she can at least get a little bit physical. There are plenty of people I could think to pair her with that would be pretty good. I mean, she's one of the few women they have who can actually cut a promo. So,
Yeah.
that counts for a lot. So I hope they find something for her. She could maybe transition to commentary. I don't know. From what I heard, Beth Phoenix was not good on commentary on this mixed match challenge, so maybe boot her for Paige. I don't know.
We found it.
All right. Well, we wish her the best, and hopefully she can learn to adjust or just wait out her deal and wrestle somewhere else if it's not too dangerous for her to do so.
Not just adjust, but thrive.
Yeah. Speaking of people who are injured and may be on the comeback tour, there's been a massive late shift in the odds for Daniel Bryan winning the 2018 Royal Rumble. He went from 66 to 1 odds to 9 to 1 odds in like 2 days. So I don't know if it's too early for smart money to be coming in or not. But the latest, no one seems to know anything. So if they have cleared him, they're keeping it real close to the vest publicly, and no one's leaked anything yet. So it might just be wishful thinking, but they're definitely fucking building to Shane and Bryan at WrestleMania. There's no other satisfying conclusion to this storyline.
That's just the hype's getting there. I'm feeling it.
Yeah. Well, they might just be in the situation where they acquiesce, because Bryan said, if they're not going to let me wrestle come September when my deal's up, I'm out of here. I'm going somewhere else. They'll let me wrestle. So they might be like, well, fuck. Also, something might have happened with this concussion lawsuit, because in the biggest news of this week, the curb stomp is back. So maybe they've made some sort of breakthrough in that concussion lawsuit, and they're kind of like relaxing their safety a little bit. I don't know.
Man. That was Cheers when that came out.
All I know is that we have 2 episodes of NXT to review, so we'll start with that. So first new NXT of 2018 begins with Adam Cole, baby. Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly giving us the welcome to 2018 speech. The tag champs vow to end sanity, and Cole says he'll destroy anyone who gets in his way of becoming the next NXT champion. Roll the intro. Announcers do the thing. Shayna Baszler's entrance music starts, which has just random horses making noise. For some reason. I guess because the 4 horsewomen? I don't know. They announced her from Sioux Falls, South Dakota, which makes me believe she's at least part Sioux, which I was not aware of. And still, that might not be true, but who else lives in Sioux Falls, South Dakota?
South Dakota. Love you all, you South Dakotans.
Yeah.
All you who watch wrestling out here. Watch this show. 10,000 of you.
Yeah, the thousands. So she comes out. They roll a video clip of her at the Performance Center. Someone was learning to put on a rear naked choke, and Shayna said the same thing that myself and many other jiu-jitsu black belts have said to young trainees. Here, let me put that on you so you know how it feels. And she puts her in the choke. She taps, but she doesn't let go. They sent everyone to pry her off, and Dakota Kai, who was the one trainer there, is this week's sacrificial lamb.
And this established Shayna Baszler's thing, which we'll get to in the next one, because her thing is just I'm just gonna walk up to whoever and just choke them out, even if they're down.
Yeah, just love choking.
She's the fucking Combobulus Michael of chokeholds. Doesn't matter who. I just love choking.
Yeah, so they defeated Shayna Baszler beat Dakota Kai via ref stoppage. They did this gnarly looking thing where Dakota's elbow was like this.
Oh yeah.
And then Shayna stopped it. It looked really nasty, and I was like, "What's that? How do they do that?" So I put my elbow down like that, and I did it myself. I'm like, "Oh, this is just mildly discomfortable."
Yeah, but it looks grody.
Oh yeah, it looked fucking gnarly.
So let that be her thing. Just fucking breaking people's arms.
They'll get sued by Lucha Underground and Pentagon Jr. So we had the referee stop the match. Then she put her in the chokehold, and then out came Ember Moon this week, being the good baby face and saving her friend. Ran her off. She's confronted by Regal in the back, saying he's been in this business for 35 years. He ain't gonna play yo shit.
He's like the exasperated dad.
Yeah.
Again, he's just trying to choke out. Little Shayna's trying to choke out random people again. Like, talking to.
Yeah. She just cockily smiles and asks, "Are we done here yet?" Then we move to the Offers of Pain, cutting a promo for themselves for a change of pace.
Hey.
Vowing to take their titles from whoever wins tonight's tag title match. Akam and Razor talk more in a mix of English and their native languages, which I don't know. I think Akam is from Canada, but he's probably of some Middle Eastern descent. I don't know what Razor thing is. I want to say Iranian, but I really don't know.
Farsi. We'll say they're speaking Farsi, though I have absolutely no idea.
I don't know Farsi well enough to really definitively say that, or at all, really.
Yeah.
So after that, Christy Singh. Oh, no, we did that with the Regal. One of their interview bots got up with Baszler. If you want to be a WWE interview girl, I'm going to help all you young girls out. If you want to work for the WWE and be an interview girl, what you have to do is work on being very pretty. So if you have that, that's step one. Step two, be a complete vacuum of charisma. And that's really all you need. You're gold.
It's the system. They got it down.
They'll hire you. They'll pay you a full-time salary for like 20 minutes of work a week, and you'll live a good life.
And deal with the attitude, because this episode, I felt like this show was like let's just give everyone heat. Like every match is gonna end like nastily, and everyone just fucking get all the heels going.
Well, I think the problem they ran into is this is their most recent set of tapings before the takeover. And like, oh shit, takeover is like real soon. We kind of need to build up our card here. Mm-hmm. So they went to speed mode with the building of the card.
Hey, what would be a good name for a show that has tried to get people up to speed really fast before a big thing happens? Carpool lane.
Carpool lane. We don't speak that pay-per-view's name.
It's got some splaining to do next year. It's got to fucking redeem itself.
Yeah, I don't think there's been a good one yet. I don't think I've ever watched a Fastlane pay-per-view and been like, oh, I'm entirely satisfied with the outcome of that main event.
Oh.
Year one of that shit, Roman Reigns beat Daniel Bryan to face Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 31. That went over about as well as you would expect it to. Year two, Roman Reigns beat Dean Ambrose and Brock Lesnar in a triple threat match to go on to face Triple H.
Was that the one I fucking watched? That was one of the first ones I watched with you, right?
Yeah, that was and then Roman won. That's where that came from. And year three, I don't remember what the main event. Oh yeah, Goldberg squashed Kevin Owens in like 12 seconds, and Bayley beat Charlotte a month too early, and Roman Reigns beat Braun Strowman for no particular reason.
Oh my god.
Even though you had a million ways to protect Braun Strowman from that finish, because, Roman Reigns was feuding with The Undertaker, and he could have, I don't know, made an appearance and chokeslammed Roman Reigns.
He didn't even have to do anything.
No.
All he had to do was just pop up and be like, silhouette. Roman Reigns.
You could have just ring the gong and had to distract Roman Reigns. Like, they've done that a million times. Never mind. You know what? That's not the point. We're getting off topic. So Cassius Ohno versus Raul Mendoza. He won following his new high tension elbow strike, which looks worse than his previous finishing move. He just kind of springboards and then forearm. It's not really even a springboard. He hits the ropes and then jumps with his forearm to the back of his opponent's head. They gave Mendoza a lot of offense. This was actually pretty good. It was a mix of lucha and strong style. The crowd was into a Raul Mendoza match, which is impressive.
You never know with these crowds. You never know.
So far, this Atlanta crowd has been pretty good. Much better than the Full Sail crowd from the last set of tapings.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Mendoza got a lot of offense in, but before too long, Ono took over and won. I think NXT really could benefit from a secondary title, like a television title. Just have it be defended on NXT TV every week or every other week, because there's a lot of guys like Roderick Strong and Cassius Ono that are just kind of floating in this, we're not really in the main event program right now, and there's really not much for us to do other than have these random nothing feuds.
They're feuding for the Phantom Belt.
Yeah. I think they should. I would introduce a second title. So media, this fake news conference they're so fond of doing recently, caught up with Zelina Vega, and she went all Zelina from the block and ran down Johnny Gargano, saying that he doesn't deserve to be there. Everyone knows he's going to lose. When asked about their plan, she's like, "Do you really think I'd be stupid enough to tell everyone my plan before it happened?" I'm like, "Oh, that's a very good point." And then Christy St. Cloud interviewed Gargano and asked what he thought about all that. He starts to say something, but then Velveteen Dream walks up, and Dream wants Johnny to say thank you because he got hurt and Johnny took a spot. And that was pretty much the gist of that. Street Profits have a mic backstage, and this was quality.
Generally loud.
Yes, very loud. In fact, like irritatingly loud.
Yeah. Hey, dude, like walked up to a dude, like flips the phone out of his hands, like, "Hey, it's no problem, man, it's no problem." Just blah, blah, blah. Like I couldn't hear. I didn't know what the fuck they were saying.
No, my notes say they unleash a horrid cacophony of noise for 10 minutes and then get a number one contenders match from Regal.
And they like adjust the camera randomly, even though it's like a dude following them around. Like,
yeah.
That's the point.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what they were trying to do.
I think they just do they improvise the whole thing. Every promo, they just like, all right, let's just roll. Let's roll. Yeah.
We had Black Guile, Leo Rush, facing Bald Zangief, Lars Sullivan. In a quick match, Leo didn't get much offense in, but he showed off his quickness. But then Lars Sullivan hit him with the freak accident and did that, and then he called out Killian Dane and looked down at Leo Rush and was like, "You know what, I'm gonna kill this motherfucker." So he picked him up, placed him gently on the top rope, situated himself on the second turnbuckle, picked him up, and hit him with his move from the second rope. That was great.
This is what's gonna happen to you, Killian Dane, if you're 100 pounds lighter and not moving at all, where I can set you up perfectly. This will be you.
This segment was great. I loved every bit of it. He just picks him up and so casually like places him on the top rope, like, "Sit there. I'm gonna get myself situated in the second rope. All right, we're ready to go." It's his move. Wonderful. They throw to the back, and Undisputed Era is beating the shit out of Sandy, gang style. It hit me watching this gang style beatdown that they're really turning the Undisputed Era into like NXT's version of the NWO.
Yeah.
Hopefully they learn from the mistakes of the first NWO and will not expand it to include every geek under the sun and know when to quit it when it's time.
Yeah. Okay, I got a question about Undisputed Era. How do you feel about Kyle O'Reilly's promo capabilities?
I think he is passable.
I don't know, man. He just comes off as like wooden to me.
He doesn't have the most charisma in the world, but he gets his point across. He doesn't stumble over his words. He's got decent diction.
This is true.
He's better than a lot of people in NXT certainly, and even on the main roster. But yeah, they're beating the show, Sanity, and they come out all cocky for their match. They're like, yeah, we beat the shit out of everything, and no one's gonna face us. And Regal's like, you guys are still defending your tag team titles. I'm gonna find two people, and then Roderick Strong's music's come out, hits, and he comes down. And he's like, I'll fight these people, and then Regal's like, okay, so it's gonna be Roddy, and then Aleister Black's music comes out. Everyone freaks the fuck out. He walks out and he says, "As will I." And then that's our main event here. We had Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly versus Aleister Black and Roderick Strong, and it was about as good as you'd expect with those four people in the ring. Yeah. Very nice match. Aleister and Roddy both had points where they just got in all kinds of offense. It looked like they had the match won, but then Adam Cole pulls Aleister out of the ring, and then they brawl into the stands, leaving. Well, they didn't really brawl. Adam Cole ran away, and Aleister Black stalked him. I don't know if it was a timing issue or he was just trying to look menacing, but he walked very slowly up the stairs, and that allowed Fish and O'Reilly to hit Roderick Strong with total elimination, and that was the end of that. And then Aleister Black came back to stave off their beatdown, but they triple teamed him to death. Just mercilessly beat him up for like 5 minutes. Gave him an attitude adjustment on an open chair. Then Regal came back out to inform Adam Cole that he's facing Aleister Black in an Extreme Rules match at TakeOver Philadelphia. And Adam Cole has the best fucking reactions.
He's like, I hate you, Dad.
He was so indignant, and then like in a second he smiled because he realized that's an Extreme Rules match, and they can just gang up on him because there's no disqualification.
Love you, Daddy Regal.
Yeah. Adam Cole is great. So real quick, we'll just run down the stars here. Baszler versus Kai. It was a good squash match, but that's all it was. Star and a quarter.
Star and a half. Yep.
Let's see. Ono versus Mendoza. I gave that 2 stars. I was feeling generous.
Twosies.
Lara Sullivan versus Leo Rush. 3 stars simply for the super freak accident.
2.5 for me. For fun.
And the main event I gave 3.5.
Yeah. 3 stars. Shit.
All right, so that was that, and now we move on to yesterday's episode, or Wednesday's, because this will not be airing on Thursday.
Whatever the fuck. The day.
The best and worst. Oh wait, no, that's not. So best and worst of this was that we had not enough Otis Dozovich, but we had Otis Dozovich.
Odie Dozovich.
So we oh wait, this is, my notes are scrambled. I need to fix this real quick. So we opened with Heavy Machinery facing the football players, Tino Sabatelli, Roderick Moss, and what was a solid tag team opener. Tucker Knight actually got a reaction, which is less usual than the normal, but it was fun. They got their spots in. Heavy Machinery do a lot of fun stuff. Otis Dozovich at one point did the worm, which was very impressive. did it better than I could do it, and I am nowhere near as wide as he is.
You got it all.
But yeah, everyone in the match looked pretty good. It was mostly a showcase for Heavy Machinery, but they rolled up and got their feet in the ropes. Roderick rolled up Tucker Knight and got his feet up on the ropes for the flash pin, and the heels escaped with the win, but the baby faces looked good. You know, no one really was hurt by this, and it was a fun little match. 2.5 stars.
Yeah, 2.5 stars. Just solid. It's everything you want. Good. It's like a fucking value meal.
We have another promo from the Undisputed Era. Adam Cole saying he'll fight Aleister Black in Philadelphia, where he'll have, a million ways to hurt him, and he'll mangle and embarrass him. The tag champs say it doesn't matter if it's AOP or the Street Profits who win tonight. They're fighting for the right to get dropped by Fish and O'Reilly. So they play this really neat promo package for Aleister Black versus Adam Cole from their previous match, and some quotes from Aleister doing whatever it is he does in his little monastery. Then we had Roderick Strong versus Fabian Eichner. Strong won via submission with what they're calling the Stronghold, but it's a fucking lion tamer.
All it is.
Stealing from Chris Jericho.
Don't slap a new name on that. Just let it be.
But this was a pretty good match. Fabian Eichner is really good, and he's getting a slow underlying push. He's not winning many matches, but he's getting offense and he's getting time, and I suspect after the call-ups, the NXT call-ups that are coming, the Monday and Tuesday after WrestleMania, he'll be maybe not in the main event yet, but he'll be on that plane. I think it won't be long before we see Fabian Eichner doing long matches on a takeover show. After the match, which was a good match that I gave 2.25 stars to, Roddy got on the mic and called out Lars Sullivan. I really hope they're not gonna do a triple threat between Lars, Date, and Strong, because no one wants Roderick Strong in there. No offense to Roderick Strong, but everyone wants to see the big Hoss fight.
Hoss fight featuring Tiny Roderick.
Yeah.
Little boy.
We had a promo package for TM61, aka Will Wisp.
Yeah, I caught that too. I saw him like, oh my god. It's gotta be.
They were like TMDK or something on the indies, but they changed it to TM61 for some reason when they got to NXT. But one of them's been out. I think it's Shane Thorne's been injured for a while now. But they're ready to come back, so they're running promo packages for them. So they're like, hey, remember these people? Which I do. There will be another promo package next week. So we had LaCie Evans versus Aaliyah via pinfall after, and I'm not making this up, a punch. A simple right-handed punch. This was like on the level of an above average, like, local indie women's wrestling match.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they both have athleticism and can do things, but they were both really sloppy.
Yeah, there was just, it wasn't all cohesive. It was sort of just floaty.
No. The story was Evans is strong and Aaliyah is agile. And it worked out that way for a while. She worked over Aaliyah in the corner. Couldn't get the 3. Aaliyah hit a pretty nice Northern Lights suplex, and then got right up and ran into the punch. Evans seemed surprised that this punch knocked her down, and then after like 2 seconds, she realized, oh, I better pin this fucker. So she got down, pinned her, 3 count. Afterwards, she got on the mic and ran down the rest of the women's division, saying that the lowest forms of life walk around in the locker room, and she's going to clean house. She's going to start with Psycho Nikki Cross or whatever Ember Moon is. I love the fact that she called out that Ember doesn't really have a gimmick.
Yeah.
I love her NXT title photo where she's like this, and someone on Reddit captured, "What's my character?"
Oh, it's perfect. But yeah, and then Shayna Baszler comes out.
Yeah, and then the horses.
It's like, ooh, there's someone down. I can choke him.
Yeah, she comes out and she stares down LaCie Evans, and I'm like, are they really gonna like do this heel versus heel right now? And then LaCie Evans calmly walks up the other set of stairs, and then Shayna Baszler's like, well, time to get the choking. And she comes in and she locks in the rear naked choke on Aaliyah. Ember Moon runs down in her gear. So last week it was Shayna in her gear and Ember Moon in street clothes. This week they flipped, which was weird because Ember Moon did not wrestle this week. She called her into the ring, but Shayna's like, oh, I don't have my gear. Can't do it. Don't have my gear. And she says, I'll do it when you put the title on the line. Ember agrees to this. And then Regal signs the match. So everyone knew where that was going. She was going to cause havoc until Ember demanded the match and Regal was forced to sign it. However, they did this in like 2 weeks, and I thought they would do it in like 3 or 4 weeks. So they kind of...
You gotta pack Philadelphia. They just go bam, bam, bam.
They got to push it up real quick. So that's what happens. In the same interview where Regal signs the match, Zelina Vega barges in and says that Johnny Gargano should put up his title shot in a match with I almost said No Way Jose, but that's not at all correct. Velveteen Dream. He said I would advise against that, but then so then we have the No Way Jose promo package. He says 2017 was full of ups and downs like a roller coaster. He wrestled maybe twice in 2017 that I can remember.
Yeah, it was an up and a down.
And he's going to keep having fun next week when he makes his 2018 debut. So we know he's still employed and still alive. So that's good.
It's all there.
Then Johnny Gargano came down to the ring without his entrance music. He ran down the Zelina Vega promo. Caught a very, very impassioned promo, but he let slip Johnny freaking Wrestling, and I'm afraid he's going to get served with legal action from Seth freaking Rollins over the right to the freaking middle name.
Cease and freaking desist.
Yes. I wouldn't mess with Seth Rollins. He can curb stomp you again.
My feet are lethal weapons. Curb is a lethal weapon.
Yeah. So he agrees to the match. Commentary wonders if he just threw away his big chance. We had one last flashback to Undisputed Era laying the beat down on Sandy before the main event starts. Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins come out. Then the Authors of Pain come out, and this match went exactly how everyone here expected it to go. The Authors of Pain beat them down mercilessly beat Montez Ford down mercilessly until he got the hot tag to Angelo Dawkins, who is really not the greatest hot tag I've ever seen. He knocked down Razor with clotheslines, which I found laughably implausible, because Angelo Dawkins is big, but he's not muscular. Yeah. And Razor is a monster.
He's a fucking boulder, and Dawkins he's just like a tree.
Yeah. But anyway, they decided enough of this shit. They laid him out. Hit the Super Collider in the last chapter for the win. Yeah, that's it. They'll face Fish and O'Reilly and take over Philly and try to become 2-time champs. The match was alright. 2.25 stars.
Yeah, I'll give it 1.5. Like, I don't know. Street Profits remind me of a discount Enzo Amore and Big Cass.
They remind me more of like Crime Time sans Charisma, but you weren't around when Crime Time was a thing, so that makes sense that wouldn't be your first comparison. But they, that's the vibe I get from them. Yeah, I'm not sold on the Street Profits. Maybe they'll get better. That's what NXT's for. But as it stands right now, I'm not feeling them. They're pretty over though, so
Yeah.
that's half the battle.
People
at least in
enjoy
NXT.
their promos, I guess.
Yeah, so we have so that was the episode. The 10th episode had higher highs, but was pretty nothing happening for a lot of it. This episode was more consistently quality, but they were both pretty good shows. We'll see what the next couple weeks have in store for us. Coming at you not this weekend, but next weekend is predictions for TakeOver Philly and Royal Rumble, and then reviews for those two shows. And the NXT review will be in there somewhere. We'll figure it out. Our next pay-per-view, I think, is next retro pay-per-view, I think, is ECW, not Hardcore Haven, Guilty as Charged, maybe? I'll have to look up the right one, but I think it's Guilty as Charged 1999 is the next retro pay-per-view. So that'll be that. And yeah, so there's a lot of stuff lined up in the future. It's going to be a pretty busy weekend. Royal Rumble weekend, usually those big four shows are pretty busy for us. But we'll be back with stuff soon.
Peace, Reno.
Peace.